My name is Lindsay Teeters, and I am the new head women's lacrosse coach at American University. So I grew up actually 2 miles from the house that I live in now. It's a town called Glenelg, Maryland. And I went on to play at Boston University, where I was fortunate enough to have a successful playing career and was a 2-time All-American. So I began my coaching career at James Madison University in Virginia. Actually came back to the DC area and was an assistant at George Washington for a year, so right down the street from American. And then had an opportunity to go down and work at Virginia Tech with their program and was elevated to associate head coach. So I had the opportunity to play for 2 incredible coaches in college. Liza Shoemaker-Kelly, who's now out at Denver, and Liz Robert-Shaw, who was my assistant at the time, became the head coach at BU and is now the executive director of the IAALCA. Both of them really laid the groundwork for me. Everything that they did for me on and off the field really is the reason why I'm sitting here today. I emulate a lot of my coaching philosophy, my coaching style, in everything that they did for me and have continued to do for me, even from a coaching standpoint to even a mother standpoint. They're just 2 really incredible women, and I'm fortunate enough that they were my coaches and have helped me out throughout this entire process. So my coaching philosophy and coaching style certainly come from the 2 women in Liz and Liza that I mentioned before. But I think the older I've gotten, as I've stepped almost away from college coaching and now I'm coming back, as I've been able to coach all sorts of different levels, I think although, I still have high intensity, my intensity maybe has lessened a little bit. I led my team always in yellow cards and in fouls. And I certainly want my players to play with aggression. But I think for me, it's all about balance. And that's the biggest thing. And that's balance on the field. It's balance off the field. There's a reason why student is always listed first and student athlete. The academic excellence that American University wants for their student athletes, is part of the reason why I wanted to be the next head coach. I wanted to make sure that I was coaching smart young women who were driven and wanted to make an impact on and off the field. What first attracted me to American was just the academics, the athletics. Obviously being in the Patriot League, it's a competitive league that people want to not only play for because, again, it's competitive, because of the academic excellence that the league has across the board. American being so close to obviously where I grew up, but more importantly, its location. I mean, DC is just an incredible place for any student athlete to have an opportunity to go to school in, whether it's just having the city atmosphere, which is maybe a little different than your traditional college campus, or if you're looking for an opportunity to get out and explore. It just really allows any student athlete that is coming to have a unique experience, and that's really first and foremost what attracted me to American. I think the second piece, having a 7-0 start, knowing their former coach, Katie Woods, being a former GW coach and knowing, what American had to offer at, right down the street. For me, I was just impressed with everything that the lacrosse program in particular has been doing over the last couple of years. And I felt like I could really step in and take them to the next level. I couldn't be more excited to step on the field and be, I've already got it marked. Is my is that April 30th? I think we're planning to be up in Boston, but for me, I'm excited to be able to play Boston. I've been an active alum with Boston University for the last 14 years. And I did not play. We were in the America East when I played at BU, but I have continued to follow them. I have, a former player that is at Loyola and at Navy. So I feel very tied to the Patriot League, and I've been paying attention, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to play against BU. We've got it marked on the calendar. We're going to be booking flight. I think my whole family is going to be flying up for the game. And I'm excited to play against Lauren Morton. She was a teammate of mine for 2 years while I was at BU. Hands down, one of my favorite teammates to play with. And I'm excited to, kind of take that friendship to another level and make it a little bit of a rivalry. I respect her a lot as a coach. And I'm just excited to have that opportunity, to play BU and to take home a win April 30th. So in my first 2 weeks as head coach, we've had an opportunity to meet with the girls twice as a team, obviously over Zoom while we are all at home. But it's given me a chance to, really just get them together as best we can, and talk a little bit about the program that we're planning to do this fall. Give them a voice and allow them to be able to come together as a group and ask any questions or concerns that they might have. And then I've really been doing a lot of one-on-one meetings. So we're lucky technology is where it is now. And I've been doing one-on-one meetings with the girls, giving them an opportunity, to ask me questions. But really it's for me to get to know them. So I've asked them about their childhood. I've asked them about, their journey to AU and how they got there, and really what they want, out of this next year. I think it's important that we take kind of one step at a time, and I certainly have long-term goals, but I think we have to take it one day at a time and one season at a time. And I think our first season is fall. We've got to figure out exactly, what that's going to look like, and there's still a lot of things up in the air, but we're being positive, and we're physically preparing for the best, and we're mentally preparing for the worst. So, I think for us, I'm giving the girls a platform and an opportunity to really talk to me about what they want as individuals and what they want for the team. So as we've been talking about our programming, first and foremost, we want to make sure that we're establishing a family-first atmosphere. You saw the positivity from the spring. Alex and Lindsay did an incredible job, with Maureen, to show the team that all it takes is a little positivity for them, to get to a 7-0 start, to start making waves in the Patriot League. And I think that's really what our plan is, for the fall, is to make sure that we continue on that same, trajectory, but make sure that we take it up a notch. And it doesn't just happen overnight. It's things that we're implementing now. We're talking to the girls about their mentality. We're talking to them about, making sure that as they're training, and as they're, working towards their goals and working on their packet, that, that they're keeping a positive mindset, and making sure that they're leaning on their teammates as much as they can. One of the things that we have talked about is not just, being a positive influence on your teammates, but having those real conversations, being able to police each other a little bit more, making sure that, if you feel like somebody maybe isn't doing the workouts, or you feel like somebody's kind of, talking negatively, how can we make sure that, you as a peer are really helping your teammates out, and we're keeping on, track, rather than it coming from the coaches. I think more often than not, it makes more of an impact when it comes from your teammate. So that's one of the things that we're talking about, that we're focusing on. We're also going to be doing some leadership, and we're going to be doing leadership by class. So it's not only understanding themselves as individuals, but understanding their role within their class. So as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, and our super seniors, who are going to be looped in with our seniors. And it's really important for them to understand themselves. And I think because the classes end up being so close, seniors and super seniors have been together for 3 to 4 years. So it's really important, I think, that if we can have these honest conversations within their own class, it's going to make a really big difference for them to start being leaders to everyone else. So one of my priorities moving forward is making sure that we have a strong alumni presence. I want the alumni to feel vested in the program. I want them to feel like, not only do they have a voice, but we want maybe some of the traditions that have been lost. As an active alum myself, I want to make sure that every single alumni that's been part of the AU program is proud to wear, their AU gear, that want to come back and want to see the team succeed. And I think, we have alumni that want to do that. And now we just need to make sure that, they really feel like they're a part of the program. So that is, a priority for me moving forward is I want the alumni to not just feel like they're alumni, to really feel like they are, still a huge and important piece to our development with our current team. So if there's one thing, for people to know about me is I love sports. So I love all types of sports. And I think that also comes into my coaching philosophy of making sure that, anybody that plays for me or whoever, I'm looking to recruit, I want them to love just sports. And it doesn't have to just be lacrosse. I'm a huge Ravens fan. I love baseball. I think I'm going to have to turn into a Nationals fan other than an Orioles fan. I think that might have to be a change we make in this household. But I think it's really important that we, take a look. I love college basketball. I'm excited to get an opportunity to, watch both the AU programs and learn from them. There's so much to learn from other sports. And I think basketball in particular is probably my favorite sport to learn, to grow. I'm excited to go to some practices and see how they run things, because I think it will change some of the drills that we're doing. Obviously, we've had success in Patriot League championships at AU, and I want to be able to make sure that I'm growing from all the coaches that are, American University coaches. And I think, that'll be a big piece for me moving forward, is just to use all the sports knowledge that I have and to bring that into my coaching.